Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to talk to you about AI, specifically our new Activate AI program. Some of you will be very pleased to hear that I'm not here to teach you about AI. There are people far more qualified on doing that, which we'll talk about through this presentation. I am going to talk to you about what are our objectives of AI for the Isle of Man. What's the objectives of this initiative? I'm going to talk to you a little bit around where our businesses are today and where we'd like to move them to. And then I'm going to talk in quite a bit of detail around what the first phase of this program is before I start talking about the longer term view and give a bit more detail about where we've been and where it is we're going to go. And most importantly, I'll be signposting through this how you can get involved and what this means to all of you as well. So the three key pillars or three key objectives of Activate AI, is the first one is, as always, economic growth. Digital Isle of Man, as the other agencies, are tasked with developing the economy. We believe that through the use of AI, we can deliver a 10% GDP growth by 2030. That means it's an additional £530 million worth of GDP. Sounds like an incredibly large number. However, I will say to everyone in this room, I don't think that's massively ambitious. The Northern European average is 9.9%. So this is really about us keeping up. The question of what would happen to our economy if we don't embrace AI is perhaps more concerning. So this is really about making sure that we are ready as an island, we're prepared, we're not intimidated by AI, and we know how we can embrace it. The second objective is to create a trusted environment where people can use AI responsibly. They know what the policies of the Isle of Man are, they know what they can do here, what they can't do here. And our regulatory framework is set up to support innovation through AI and creating synergies with our other areas across the entire economy, not just the digital economy. And finally, we can use AI and reflect some of the things we're doing for the business community and the third sector back into government so that we can drive a more efficient and effective public service. Now, that's, to be clear, that's not the responsibility of Digital Isle of Man, but while we're working with businesses to offer these tools, services, and knowledge, we can reflect that back into government, and that can be used to drive some of those efficiency targets that the Chief Minister mentioned this morning. So we can play a part into that as well. So where are businesses today when it comes to AI? Well, there's a whole range of different places, everywhere from unaware to people who are absolutely shaping and can share their knowledge and bring people on the journey. So what Digital Isle of Man want to do through the Activate AI program is to give everyone, every business, the opportunity to at least experiment with AI. Many of us who've tried AI and those who've taken other people on the journey can see people's eyes light up at just how easy it can release value and how quickly things that have always been quite difficult and technical to do in the past actually can create value quickly. We want to share that experience with as many people as possible with a view to more businesses becoming practitioners, using AI as part of their day-to-day operations, their day-to-day work. This isn't just around businesses as well, this also impacts individuals. From there, businesses will drive and create strategies to use AI as is fit for their particular businesses. So the objective of Activate AI is to really give people that opportunity to experiment and move them to practitioners, the third part of that. Not everyone needs to be a shaper. But those shapers are going to be important, and I'm going to come back to that later in this presentation. So this isn't just about businesses, this is about individuals as well. Individuals leverage AI, and they have their own personas and their own sort of journey as well. This isn't quite as straightforward as the business maturity levels. With businesses, they tend to move from left to right. With individuals, people can move in one direction and then move back again. So you can have a bit of belief, and then you might read something on a news site that makes you skeptical again. We recognise that this is an ever-changing world, and this is a real challenge for Digital Isle of Man, because we're reaching an audience that's far wider than anyone we've reached before. So we have developed personas for each one of these categories to make sure that we communicate in an effective way. We remove some of the tech jargon, which we do love to use, and make this accessible to everybody, so it's meaningful. And we'll continue to do that through the entire programme. So what are we looking to do in the first phase of Activate AI? Our overarching objective is to overcome inertia. So we've got 4 campaigns in here. We've got an awareness campaign. We've got something called Learn AI. We've got activation partners that we want to bring on to this journey, and we want to deliver an applied AI service. So having just talked about accessible language, I've just used what could sound very much like jargon. So let's break this down so we know what we're all doing. Firstly, the awareness campaign. So we launched Activate AI at the beginning of August this year. We've promoted that through a set of press releases to the media. We've done some road shows. We've gone to different parts of the island to deliver public road shows. We've also delivered a number of business road shows as well to explain what it is we're doing. We've developed a newsletter focused purely on AI. So we do have a digital newsletter as well, which is equally fantastic. But there is a AI newsletter which everyone can sign up to, which will give you updates of where we are on a journey, make it clear about how you can get involved, and give you hints and tips about how you can use this in your everyday life. We have an Activate AI section on our website that's continuing to grow, and there's where you can really understand what's going on, and you can actually interact with us and book onto learning courses or request particular services that we're offering here. And we're also, again, through the accessible language and media kind of concept, we are going to deliver more video-focused communications to make this easier for everybody to understand what's going on. Whilst we'll continue to put words on the page and deliver brochures and so forth, we will be leading more into audio and video to make sure this is open to everybody. So in that vein, the second component here is around Learn AI. So we've released an online learning portal, learnai.im, which is open and free to everybody on the Isle of Man. We've currently got around 200 hours worth of training on that portal, some of which is being homegrown and delivered by people in the digital team and some of our businesses that we're working with. And some of it is being delivered by the likes of Microsoft and Google that we've curated and put onto that site. That will continue to grow in content capability, so it's definitely worth keeping an eye on that, and we'll be signposting new content through our newsletter. We've really focused this around an AI for everyone concept. So this is applicable to everybody, from those who know nothing about AI or how it can help them, to those who perhaps want to use quite technical aspects of AI. I would say up to an intermediate level. The experts in the room will already know where to go, and will have their own access points for this. Said here, we're going to leverage our Activate AI partners to deliver educational training courses. We've not actually got our Activation AI partners on board at the moment, but we have partnered with a number of businesses, actually most of whom are in the room today, who are delivering courses as we speak. So we've currently trained 250 people so far this month, and we have another 650 people signed up for courses up through October. I'll talk more about that at the end so you can understand how to get involved in those. The feedback from those have been exceptional, very engaging courses. I'm really proud, and just at the quality that we're getting there and the interaction that we're getting through those businesses. And again, this is due to the partnership that we're having with businesses who have a real passion in this area. So I'd strongly recommend everyone to have a look at those courses. And ultimately, what we're going to push towards is creating a AI readiness framework. So we want to have the ability for those businesses to understand where they are on their maturity index, and help signpost them to solutions that are going to be useful for them and training that's going to be useful for them. It's also worth shouting out that we also have a community of practice initiative, of which we have an AI community, and that's a great place to get your fingers on the keyboard, sort of, figure out what's going on, get some help and support in learning about what this can do for you. Okay, so one of the components that I've mentioned is activation partners. What are activation partners? So this is around Digital Isle of Man working with businesses on the island who are at that shaper end of the business maturity. They have the capability, the knowledge, and the ability to help people leverage AI to deliver solutions. We recognize that AI can be quite intimidating. It can be a little bit difficult for people to accept and to understand how to use. So what we want to do is to use our activation partners to help people on that journey. We're going to create some rules of engagement to understand how we work with our activation partners in a way that's meaningful for them as well as for us. And we'll give some kind of accreditation or logo to those partners so we're very clear about who they are. And we've also established a physical presence in Hillary House, where we will have the facility for those partners to work with businesses face-to-face, to workshop problems and create solutions, and perhaps do some knowledge sharing sessions and so forth. So that then nicely leads us into our applied AI service. And this is essentially a simple process that allows a business to register a problem or an interest that they think they could solve with AI. You may not actually understand what problems in your business are the ones that are appropriate to be solved with AI. You can reach out and have that conversation. We've got a colleague and board member, Jason Bissell, who's going to be on the end of the phone, and he'll be able to talk people through what this means and kind of help them shape what the problem is. And we can then put that problem in and match to our activation partners to go and deliver a proof of concept, a pilot, a test, whatever you wish to call it, to prove that your problem can be solved through AI. And ideally, prove that it can be done cheaply and easily and quickly. With that understanding, you can then choose to carry on that vision, that journey, or you might have other problems that you wish to solve with your chosen partner, and really embrace the power of AI to make your business far more productive. The activation partners will not just work with businesses and third sector, they'll also be working with government as well. So this service is going to be available to all areas of government as well as the public. But we will make sure it's balanced and it's fair so that government doesn't swamp the service, and that businesses are getting the value as well. We'll be then celebrating success and showing case studies, explaining to people the different kinds of things that you can do with AI. And one of the challenges we have is it can fix so many things. It can be useful in so many different areas that we need to be able to tell that story so people can see, actually, that solution is going to work for me, that resonates with me. I'm going to go onto the website and I'm going to ask to have a pilot with this group of people. And we'll also be measuring what the value of each of these pilots are so we can start tracking what that productivity increase is going to be moving forward. So that's phase one. So let me just talk about where we've been in the last year, because it's been a bit of a hectic year. We had our first board meeting around AI around this time last year. We first discussed it at our Digital Isle event in November of last year, and we've been accelerating and working very quickly to try to bring something that's meaningful and impactful to our business community. So since Digital Isle, where we talked about our overarching approach, we've created a business case. We've presented that to the Economic Strategy Board, and we've been allocated funding for this program moving forward. We've signed a memorandum of understanding with AI Singapore, who've been sharing their experiences. They're about 7 years ahead of us in their journey with AI, and we've been learning what they've done, what's worked and what hasn't worked, and how we can bring that back here. We've also been looking at other places like AI Sweden, AI Australia, and of course the UK and the wider EU around what they're doing with AI. And we're trying to learn all of those lessons and bring the appropriate factors back to the Isle of Man so that we're creating what the best solution for the Isle of Man and our particular economy. We did go out to recruit a head of AI. We didn't succeed in that process, not because we didn't have quality applicants, which we did, but I think through that journey we recognised that the clarity of what we were going to deliver and the expectations around different parts of the organisation weren't quite correct. So we've pivoted, and actually we've partnered more with businesses than we had originally planned, and that's really brought some fantastic benefit as far as I'm concerned. It's giving us far more resource and a far more effective delivery mechanism than we would have got from a single individual. So whilst that was not part of the plan, that's actually worked out very much in our favour. And then, of course, we've developed this delivery framework and this programme. So the three elements of the programme, we've talked about overcoming inertia, the first phase. The second phase is around creating momentum. So what does that mean? Well, most developed countries have some form of national AI strategy, so we must start on that journey. We typically would see a version 1 that is a fairly basic national strategy, followed in a couple of years by a version 2, which has a lot more detail into it. So we'll need to propose some kind of strategy and take that through the relative mechanism so it can be discussed across government, and that we have a view of what that strategy is going to look like for the Isle of Man. I've already talked about the AI Readiness Index, assessing maturity and making sure that we can help people and signpost people in the right way. We need to consider within the Isle of Man government, how do we make decisions around AI? AI is an all-encompassing tool, general purpose technology that's going to affect all of us, and as such we need to have a way to make the right decisions. What does that look like, and how do we make sure that we avoid duplication of effort, and we also avoid leaving chasms when we're looking at this moving forward? We need to consider what AI ethics and safety looks like for the Isle of Man. What's responsible AI mean to the Isle of Man? How does that tie in with some of our other initiatives, such as the biosphere? Such as our carbon zero. What does it mean for our businesses? What does it mean to our regulators? We need to consider AI infrastructure. It's all very well running projects, but where is the infrastructure this is going to run on? We can't ask people to adopt technology and not give them somewhere to be able to run it. And in some cases, this infrastructure could be very, very simple. But right now, we don't have a clear view of what the infrastructure needs are going to be, so that's something we've put into phase 2. AI is a productivity tool. It's going to help businesses be more productive. Now, on an island where we have a very, very low unemployment rate, and where I've been here for 6 years, and the primary issue across certainly the digital agency, and I think across all agencies, have been around lack of skilled workers, this presents an opportunity for growth. So by leveraging AI in the right way, we can enable businesses to optimize their workforce to create more growth and offer more services both on island and off island. We need to be able to have that conversation around workforce optimization and give people the tools and the ability to consider how they can bring that into their own business strategies. And then finally, we need to think about how are we going to establish the Isle of Man's niche with AI. Every country around the world is looking for a way they're going to differentiate themselves from everyone else in the use of AI. What's our niche going to be? And we need to give that some careful consideration and be able to formulate that reasonably quickly. The third phase of this programme is quite simply entitled Accelerate. So if we're going to hit our target of 10% GDP, we have to do all of this, and we have to do it faster and faster. Businesses need to be able to have the tools and the level of knowledge and the comfort to be able to use AI to increase productivity themselves. And we need to understand how we can support and at times get out of the way to make that happen appropriately. So just to leave you with how you can get involved. Firstly, I've just highlighted 5 different sessions, of which we've got multiple courses running up through to early October. You can scan the QR code here, or there's some QR codes and leaflets outside for you to take away. I can't recommend these courses enough. If we do run out of spaces and there are still people interested, we will look to run these again and for longer. But it's a fantastic way to learn what AI can do for you. We also have the newsletter. If you want to keep informed, you want to understand what's going on, sign up to the newsletter. And finally, don't be shy. If you've got an idea that AI could help your business, fill in the form on our website, whether it is just come and talk to me, I'd like to have a further conversation, or I have a specific problem, please come and help me with these. Let us know, and you'll be on the list, and we will come and work with you to deliver that proof of concept. If you've got any questions, myself and the team are going to be outside for the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow. Thank you very much.